Oh, there you are, YouTube. Do. Subscribe if you're interested, but also no pressure. Hey, I think we're going to do a random ranking today. Did you notice the threads here? Collared shirt. You don't see me in this very often. Oh, dang. Didn't even see these were unbuttoned right here. Anyway, just doing a little celebrating because I got that new job also. My mom and stepdad's anniversary today. Did a little celebrating. Anyway, hey, what do you say we go to my movie collection behind me and pick out 3 films at random and then rank those movies based on whatever criteria we come up with. I'll rank them here in the video, but if you'd like to rank them in the comments below, please feel free to do so. Let's get to picking some movies. Cucumber mint. Sparkling water. Let's see what we got today, movie-wise. Alright. Oh, gotta pull these pants up here. Alright, let's do maybe something over in this direction. This feels like a snapper. Maybe something underneath it. Right here feels like a slip. What do you say we do something maybe right here? I feel another slip. Let's make sure I've never seen these before. Or sorry, let's make sure I have seen these before. Silly me. I've seen them all. All right, here we go. Interestingly, all horror. As I recall, they are horror films. This first one, however, directed by Guillermo del Toro, he may tell you that it's not a horror film, but it is a gothic romance. As I had watched this film with him, Guillermo del Toro, the director, at a festival known as Ebert Fest, something that Roger Ebert had created. And after the film, we gave him a standing ovation, and he was brought to tears because it's a movie that he felt very emotionally about. It meant a lot to him, and it was not very well received box office wise, as it was marketed incorrectly. And for us to watch it in front of him and give him the validation that I think he might have been seeking, he was brought to tears. It was very amazing. And I had the chance to meet him after this viewing of Crimson Peak, and he signed the film for me. Check that out. That says Guillermo del Toro, ladies and gentlemen. And this is one of my favorite films by him, and some of that is just because of that experience of meeting him, but also I just think it's one of his best films. Like, his favorite movies for me are Blade 2, Pan's Labyrinth, then maybe this. I also really like The Shape of Water, maybe below those other 3, but still, he's great. What did he do? Mimic? But yeah, I also love the artwork here, that poster imagery, and also on the back too with that blue and red. It causes me to recollect things like old 3D films with the blue and red glasses, which is cool. Looks like I bought this film for 13 bones. And yeah, signed by Guillermo del Toro. Very kind man. He was great. I'd love to meet him again. And like, let him know how much he meant to me. It was a very quick little meet and greet, but I was very glad to meet him, and I do love this movie. It might be, I'm trying to think, is it my favorite? I love Blade 2. But here's the thing, like, I love Blade 2, but is it, when I think about loving Blade 2, is it because I love superheroes, vampires, and that franchise, or is it because I love that movie? You know, I have a tough time, like, separating that film from the franchise as a whole and Wesley Snipes and all of that, because I love all of that stuff. So let's delete all of that and think of it just as a singular film. Then how much do I love it, or do I love this more? You never know. Next is another horror film known as Saw. Look at this awesome DVD. I love this. It's a clear case. Inside it, we have the disc in the shape of a radial saw, looking amazing. We see the foot. After you see the film, you know what all of this means. It is so... And I really like this movie. Out of all the Saw films, it's still my favorite. I haven't seen them all. I haven't seen Spiral, and I haven't seen the very last Saw film. And did they make another Saw film after Spiral? I feel like they might have. And if they did, I haven't seen that one. So I need to go back and watch this entire franchise. But to me, I really like this one. Cary Elwes, I think, makes... I feel like some of his performance is not the best compared to other stuff we've seen him do. But still, this movie's innovative. It's fun. It was cheaply made, like, you know, like, what am I trying to say? Economical. And I don't know. I like the first Saw, and I love this case too. I think it's great. Next, we have that snapper, right? Have you ever seen I Am Legend? Well, I Am Legend is based off of, well, it's based off of a few things. I believe it's based off of a book originally, then a movie with Vincent Price, and then after that movie with Vincent Price came this film, The Omega Man, which then caused the Will Smith film, I Am Legend, but this was before I Am Legend. Look at this art. Seriously, look at this art. So I watched this film, my wife and I, we watched this film as a part of our Halloween countdown, our countdown to Halloween, our Advent calendar that we have where we're counting down the days to Halloween. But instead of putting like little chocolates or candies in each one of those pockets, what we do is we put a title of a horror film, fall film, Halloween adjacent film, something like that. And we decided, hey, let's watch this movie. So we put this one in. I have a review for it. If you'd like to watch the review, please, you know, type in Pure Hangout The Omega Man. You'd probably find it. And go ahead and watch that review. But this right here, this film, I remember, I think ultimately, if I remember correctly, I loved the 70s-ness of it. Let's make sure it was made in the 70s. Yep. 70s-ness of it. There were zooms and things like that, and sped up motion, speed motion, as opposed to slow motion. But there were things about the movie that didn't quite fully make sense to me. I think especially near the end, there's something like with a fountain or something. I remember that there was a scene where I was just kind of like, does this follow the rules of the film that were established? I don't know. And instead of like zombies, it's more like a cult or something instead of like a zombies. You can see those members right here, which look awesome. I love the cover art. The cover art is fire. And yeah, we got these three films right here. So how are we going to rank them? Here we go. Honestly, I like all of these movies. This one I like the least, however, even though I find it interesting. There's some cool stuff about it. I like the dated quality of it, the 70s-ness of it all. It was very cool, but I am going to put it at the end. I did have a couple issues with it. Then I'm going to put Saw afterwards, which I love. I think is great, but I mean, there's something about Crimson Peak, and maybe because it's a singular film. Honestly, if Saw was a singular film, maybe it would go #1, but there's something about the singular quality of Crimson Peak that puts it at #1 for me and makes me just like extra love it. So I'm going to go ahead and go Crimson Peak, then Saw, then Charlton Heston starring in The Omega Man. So my question to you is, have you seen these films, these three right here? And if so, what do you think of them? And if you've seen all three, how would you rank them? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments below, and perhaps we'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.